Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the valence bond theory hybridization. Before entering into the valence bond theory hybridization, let us recall the valence bond theory. So in the last video we discussed the valence bond theory, with which we explained the formation of different molecules. For example, H2, there is a single bond between H and H. This is happened due to overlap of s orbital of one hydrogen with the s orbital of the other hydrogen, and HCl molecule. This is happened because of the overlap of s orbital of one hydrogen with the p orbital of another chlorine. So, and Cl2 molecule. This is happened due to overlap p orbital of this chlorine with the p orbital of this chlorine. So SS overlap, sp overlap, pp overlap. In the case of oxygen molecule, we observed a double bond. One is sigma bond, another is the pi bond. These sigma bond and pi bonds are formed due to overlap of pz orbital of this oxygen with the pz orbital of this oxygen. Py of this oxygen is overlapped with the py orbital of this oxygen atom. And in the case of nitrogen, we observe the triple bond. One is sigma bond and two are the pi bonds. Sigma bond is due to overlap of the pz orbital of this nitrogen, pz orbital of this nitrogen, and px, py overlap together, and combinedly they form a triple bond. So in all these examples, we discussed all these are examples of diatomic molecules containing only two atoms. Now, valence bond theory hybridization is used now to discuss the structure, shape of polyatomic molecules, means a molecule containing more than two atoms. Those are nothing but BeCl2, BF3, CH4, NH3, H2O, etc. So it successfully explained the shapes, bond angles in all these polyatomic molecules. Actually, the concept of hybridization was given by the Linus Pauling. Before going to know about what is hybridization, let us see the necessity of the concept of valence bond theory hybridization with an example of beryllium chloride. Look at the beryllium chloride molecule. Be is the central atom, other two atoms are the chlorine. If you check the configuration of beryllium, its atomic number is 4, its ground state configuration is 1s2 2s2. In excitation, one electron jumps from 2s2 to 2p, hence its configuration becomes 1s2 2s1 2p1. So 2s has one electron, 2p has one electron. It keeps two electrons for sharing with the two different atoms. One of s, another electron of p kept for the share. So this s orbital of one is the s orbital of beryllium, another one is the p orbital containing unpaired electron of the beryllium is overlapped. This s orbital of the beryllium overlapped with the pz orbital of this chlorine. As we know, chlorine atomic number is 17, last electron, unpaired electron, that is of pz. Therefore, this is the bond formed due to overlap of s orbital of beryllium and pz orbital of the chlorine along the internuclear axis. Therefore, it is a sigma bond of type s orbital of pz. Okay. Another electron is there, that is px of or pz of beryllium, pz unpaired electron in the p dumbbell, p orbital pz of beryllium, or px of the beryllium, px of the beryllium is overlapped with an unpaired electron in pz of the chlorine. So along this pair is overlapping is along the internuclear axis between the beryllium and chlorine. Therefore, it is also a sigma bond. A sigma bond here is the pz of chlorine and px. Sigma, pz and px. This is sigma s and pz. Now this is also sigma bond, this is also sigma bond, this is also covalent sigma bond, this is also covalent sigma bond. We expected that as they are of the single bonds, they should have as they are of the single bonds and they are made up of different type of overlapping, here s and pz and pz px. Therefore, they are formed because of the overlap of different type of orbitals. Their energy should be different, that we expect. Once again, as the overlapping happened between the different orbitals, here sPz, here pz. So overlapping orbitals are different in this case of two single bonds. Therefore, as the overlapping is different, we expected that bond energy of this single bond and bond energy of this single bond should be different. But practically it was observed. Reality, if you consider, they have the same energy. These two single bonds have the same energy. Even the overlapping is of different order. Why? Why they have the same energy? Well, even the overlapping is different. So, the reason for the equal energies of the bonds, even the bonds are made up of overlapping of different orbitals, was successfully explained by the concept of hybridization. So, in the next video, we have to discuss about what is hybridization. Thank you. Dear students, in this video, we define what is hybridization. We are going to learn what is hybridization and what are the different types of hybridization. Now, what is hybridization? The process of intermixing of atomic orbitals. Atomic orbitals means either s, p, d, f. These atomic orbitals are slightly different in their energies, means s and p. Suppose if we take 2s and 2p, they have different energies, but slightly different energies. So, mixing of 2s and 2p. So, in such a way, the process of intermixing of atomic orbitals 2s, 2p of slightly different, yes, 2s is have lesser energy than 2p, so as to redistribute the energies. So now their energies are mixed together. Now final energy again redistributing and results in the formation of new set of orbitals. So new set of orbitals means it's neither s nor p. New orbital. It's neither s nor p, and new orbitals which has the characteristics of s and also p. Those orbitals are called as hybrid orbitals of equal in number. Means what? If 2 s's and 2p are mixed together, 4 new hybrid orbitals. If 1s, 1p mixed together, 2 hybrid orbitals. And the new hybrid orbitals means newly formed means new set of orbitals are of equal energies and they have the same shape. Such a process is called hybridization. So once again, what is hybridization? The process of intermixing of atomic orbitals, SPDF, of slightly different in energies. 2s have lesser energy than 2p, so as to redistribute their energy. So this energy combined together and they equally shaped. Results in the formation of new set of orbitals. Means new orbitals are formed. That should not be represented as s or p. So that should be represented in different ways. So those are called as hybrid orbitals. And new set of orbitals are also formed as same as the number of the orbitals intermixed. And new set of orbitals are having equivalent energy, means same energy. And they have the same energies. Same energies and same shape. So that is the hybridization. Now, what are the different types of intermixing? Means what are the different types of hybridization? How one orbital mixed with a slightly different orbital. There are generally 3 types of hybridization we generally discuss. 1. sp hybridization. Name it says that 2 hybridization means intermixing. 1s and 1p are mixed together. Yes, this is sp hybridization. And 2 sp2 hybridization means 1s, 2p's are mixed together. 1s orbital, 2p orbitals are mixing here. Intermixing means hybrids. Now third, sp3 means 1s orbital and 3p orbitals are intermixed together. Okay. So these are all the 3 types. sp, 1s, 1p. In sp2, 1s, 2p's are combined together and intermixed together. In third one, sp3, 1s and 3p orbitals are intermixed together. So after intermixing, they form a new orbitals of sp or sp2 or sp3. Let us see how the new orbitals are formed. So number of new orbitals formed depends upon the number of orbitals are intermixed. Now let us look at the table. In the case of sp hybridization, one s orbital is mixed with one p orbital. This means how many orbitals are there? 2. So new orbitals of 2. So new orbitals are called as hybrid orbitals. So such a new hybrid orbital is named as a sp. So two sp orbitals are formed. To sp means it is not s, it is not p. Sp is a hybridized orbital. So totally two hybridized orbitals of sp type are formed. It has new hybrid orbital sp has a characteristics of s and also p, 50% s character, 50% p character. Okay. Now comes to the sp2 hybridization. One s is combined with two p orbitals. So totally how many orbitals are intermixing? 3 hybrid orbitals are intermixing. And how the intermixing is? 1s and 2 p's are. So 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals are formed. Means 1s and 2 p's. So 33%, 67% is of p character. Now the third case, sp3 hybridization. In sp3 hybridization, 1s orbital is intermixed with 3 p orbitals. So totally 1 plus 3, 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals are formed. So newly formed orbitals are called as hybrid orbitals. sp hybrid orbital, sp2 hybrid orbital, sp3 hybrid orbital. It is not s, it is not p, it is new hybrid orbital, that is sp3. It is not s, it is not p, it is sp2. It is not s, it is not p, it is sp. Okay, so in sp3, s has 25% character and 75% character. So this is the way how hybrid orbitals are formed. This is due to intermixing of orbitals of nearly same energy. So they redistribute their energy and new hybrid orbitals are formed which are in the same number as that of the number of orbitals undergoes intermixing. And the new hybrid orbitals have the same energy and same. And these are of the three types. One is sp, another one is sp2, and another one is sp3. In sp, s has a 50% character, p has a 50% character. In sp2, s character is 33%, p character is 67%. In sp3, s character is 20% and p character is of 75%. In the next video, we discuss sp, sp2, sp3 hybridations with examples. Thank you. Let's continue watching the next video. Dear students, let us discuss the sp hybridization. sp hybridization is due to intermixing of one s orbital and one p orbital. So finally it gives 1 plus 1, 2 s and p. So 2 sp hybrid orbitals. 2 sp hybrid orbitals. This is s orbital, this is p orbital. And these are the one sp hybrid orbital and this is the other sp hybrid orbitals. So s orbital spherical in shape, p orbital dumbbell in shape, combined together a newly shaped hybrid orbital. This is sp hybrid orbital. This is also sp hybrid. 1 plus 1, 2 sp hybrid orbitals are there. Now these hybrid orbitals aligned in such a way that there is a minimum repulsion as valential electron pair repulsion theory. So they align such a way that there are minimum repulsions between the electron pairs in its valential. Means electron pairs means either it is a lone pair or bond pair. So these hybrid orbitals are aligned, okay, aligned with a minimum repulsion between the electron pairs in the valential. Okay. So let us discuss this sp hybridization with an example, beryllium, formation of beryllium chloride. So in beryllium chloride, the Be is a symbol of beryllium. Its atomic number is 4. Its ground configuration is 1s2, 2s2. Means there are no electrons in the 2p. So now one electron jumps from 2s to 2p. That is nothing but due to excitation. So the excited state electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1, 2p1. So there are two unpaired electrons are there in the valential lost cell of beryllium. So these two valence electrons are there. Now what happened? These two electrons are undergo hybridization. Means what? This is an unpaired electron in s orbital, this is an unpaired electron in p orbital. This unpaired electron in this s orbital, this p orbital undergo intermixing together. Nearly a smaller amount of energy in 2s than the 2p. So 2s is slightly lesser energy than the 2p. So they intermix together. Means hybridization is happened. After intermixing, what happened? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hybrid orbitals are formed. In that, how many electrons are there? 2 electrons are there. These 2 electrons are redistributed as per the Hund's rule. So means all they have to filled with 1 electron, then pairing takes place. So this is 1 electron in sp and this is 1 electron in sp. These two are the empty hybrid orbitals. Right. So now what happened? This beryllium is coming paired with what? Chlorine. So already we know that the chlorine atomic number is 17 and its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5, and there is an unpaired electron in the outermost shell. Be careful that these two should be opposite in spin. Okay, beryllium, 2 hybrid orbitals are here, sp hybrid orbital of 1, another sp hybrid orbital, sp hybrid orbital, another sp hybrid orbital, like so. They combined with the p orbital, pz, this is the pz, p orbital of chlorine with 1 chlorine and p orbital of the other chlorine. Means what? This bond is happened along the internuclear axis. Therefore this is a sigma bond of what? This is sp and this is pz, sigma of sp pz, and here is also the relation is formed, and here is this is of pz and this is of sp hybrid orbital. So there is a sigma bond, means sharing along the internuclear orbital, overlapping along the internuclear axis. So sigma sp pz. So totally there are 2 sigma bonds are there. So one with this chlorine, another with this chlorine. So and now what happened? As you know that the repulsion should be minimum between the electron pairs. So this is an electron pair, bonded electron pair, this is the bonded electron pair. So these are repulsion, means minimum repulsion means that should be existed at an angle 180 degrees. Therefore angle between beryllium chlorine and beryllium chlorine is how much? 180 degrees. Therefore shape is what? Linear in shape. So in a beryllium chloride there are 2 sigma bonds are there, 2 are of type sp and p. Okay, this is the way in which beryllium chloride is formed. Again, beryllium chloride, beryllium atomic number 4, its excitation, after excitation it undergo hybridization. There are 2 hybrid orbitals are there, they align like so and pair with the 2 chlorines and form 2 sigma bonds of spp type, and they aligned at an angle 180 degrees. Therefore it has a linear structure. So, thank you. Okay students, now we discuss sp2 hybridization with an example. So in sp2 hybridization there is one intermixing of atomic orbitals are happening. This intermixing happened between the atomic orbitals of 1 s orbital and 2 p orbitals, results in the formation of 3 hybrid orbitals of type sp2, which has a 33% x character and 67% p character. So in such a way, this is s orbital and 2 pi orbitals are combined together, and there are 3 hybrid orbitals, 1, 2, 3. These 3 are of sp2 hybrid orbitals. Okay, these 3 are the sp2 hybrid orbitals. Now these 3 hybrid orbitals undergo bond formation. Now we take an example, the formation of BF3, boron trifluoride. In that the central atom is boron, its atomic number is 5, its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. It is the ground state configuration. 2s has 2 electrons, 2p has 1 electron. Now due to excitation of 1 electron from 2s to 2p, the excited configuration becomes 1s2, 2s1, 2p2. So there is 1 electron unpaired in 2s, there are 2 unpaired electrons in the 2p. So now what happens? Due to hybridization, these 3 unpaired electrons containing orbitals, these 3 orbitals are intermixed together. This is of s type, these 2 are of the p type. So 1s and 2 p orbitals are hybridizing, are intermixing. Therefore what happens? If 1s orbital, 2 p orbitals are combining together, they form 3 hybrid orbitals. So totally what happened? 3 hybrid orbitals are there. What are the 3 hybrid orbitals? They are of sp2. So this is sp2, this is sp2, this is sp2. How many electrons are there? 3 electrons are there. So again these electrons are distributed in these hybrid orbitals as per the Hund's rule. So all the hybrid orbitals are filled with 1 electron. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So there are 3 unpaired electrons are there in 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. One is the vacant hybrid orbital we have. So now this boron is able to form 3 bonds with 3 fluorines by keeping because of the overlapping. Okay, by keeping 1 electron is okay. Now comes to the fluorine. Atomic number is 9. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So last shell is the second shell have 7 electrons. It needs 1 more electron to get the stability. So how many pairs are there? 1, 2, 3 already pairs there. 1 unpaired electron is there. This unpaired electron is opposite in space to the unpaired electrons of the hybrid. So like that 3 f orbitals, 3 f fluorine atoms with unpaired electrons in the p orbitals come and join. This is pz of 1 fluorine, this is pz of 1 fluorine, and this is pz of the third fluorine. They come and join with the 3 hybrid orbitals of the sp2 hybrid orbitals of the beryllium. So this is hybrid sp2 hybrid orbital of beryllium, sp2 hybrid orbital of beryllium, sp2 hybrid. So see, they are in opposite spin. They combine together and aligned in such a way that there is a minimum repulsion. So this is one bond is formed between hybrid orbital and p orbital. This is between hybrid orbital of beryllium and p orbital of fluorine. This is the bond formed between the hybrid orbital of beryllium and p orbital of the fluorine. So this is the bond pair, this is the bond pair, this is the bond pair, and vacant orbital is there. So this is a sigma bond because internuclear. Sigma bond formed between sp2 and pz. This is sigma bond formed between sp2 and pz. sp2 and pz. There is a vacant orbital is there. Hence what happened? The maximum they aligned with a minimum repulsion among them. So the bond angle between one bond to the other bond is 120 degrees. Therefore the shape is trigonal planar in shape. Bond angle 120 degrees, and it has 3 sigma bonds of type sp2p. So by this way we can explain how boron trifluoride is formed with the help of a valence bond theory hybridization, which contains sp2 hybridization. Now students, let us see how sp3 hybridization takes place. So in the sp3 hybridization there is an intermixing of s orbital of 1 and 3 p orbitals takes place, and totally 4 new hybrid orbitals of sp3, 1s 3 p orbitals. So totally there are 1 plus 3 4 new hybrid orbitals of sp3 are formed as follows. This is s orbital, and these are the 3 p orbitals with unpaired electron. So combining they intermix together forms a new hybrid orbitals of 4 in number. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is of not S, this is not of P, this is sp3, this is also sp3, sp3. So right, how this is the way how sp3 hybridization takes place. Now let us explain the formation of methane molecule. So in a methane the formula is CH4. The central atom is the carbon. Its atomic number is 6. Configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. This is the ground state configuration. An excitation of 1 electron from 2s to 2p. Now 2s becomes 1, 2p becomes 3. There are unpaired electrons of 4, 1 in 2s and 3 in 2p. So totally what happened? It undergoes hybridization, means intermixing of 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals takes place. So intermixing of 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals leads to the sp3 hybridization of 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 new hybrid orbitals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 new hybrid orbitals containing, again how many electrons are there? 4 electrons are there. As per the Hund's rule, these 4 electrons aligned in such a way in all these 4 hybrid orbitals of sp3, 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 sp3. Now this unpaired electron to get the stability, carbon has to be combined with some other atoms. So here the other atoms is nothing but hydrogen. So hydrogen atomic number is 1. Its configuration is 1s1. It has only 1 unpaired electron. So it can give 1 electron for the sharing. But here 4 are required. Therefore carbon has to join with 4 hydrogen atoms. Right.
So hydrogens, but we consider that here unpaired electrons are of opposite spin. So one hydrogen with hydrogen, 3, 4 hydrogens. S orbital of this hydrogen, S orbital spherical of hydrogens, 4 hydrogens, and these are the 4. What type of orbitals? sp3 orbitals, 1, 2, 3, 4. All these are the 4 sp3 orbitals of carbon. So they come, these 4 and these 4 combine together in such a way. So there is a bond formed, overlapping of s orbital, p orbital, overlapping of s orbital, p orbital, s orbital, p orbital. There is a sigma bond is formed. So sigma sp3s, and this is also a sigma sp3 orbital. sp3s, this is sigma sp3 orbital, sp3s, sp3s. There are no x, y, z's for the sp3 because sp3, 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 all these are the degenerated orbitals only, right? So don't write x, y, z's for the sp3. So sp3s, 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 sp3, 4 sigma bonds are formed as per the and they aligned at a minimum repulsion. So if they undergoes in a minimum repulsion, aligned in a minimal repulsion, the bond angle is of 109 degrees 28 minutes. Means the angle between one bond, CH bond, to this CH bond is 109 degrees 28 minutes. So it totally comes into tetrahedral structure. Bond angle 109 degrees 28 minutes. So there are 4 sigma bonds are there. 4 are of sp2 s type. This is the way sp3 hybridization takes place. 1s, 3p's, sp3 of 4 in number. They mix. Now they overlap with 4 hybrid atoms. These 4 hybrid atoms overlap with 4 atoms of hydrogen, and finally methane molecule is formed in such a way containing 4 sigma bonds of type sp3s. Thank you.
Dear students, let us see one more example for the sp3 hybridization. That is nothing but the formation of ammonia molecule. In the ammonia molecule, the central atom is nitrogen. Its atomic number is 7, and ground state configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So 2s has 2 electrons, 2p has 3 unpaired electrons. Now these s orbital and 3p orbitals undergo hybridization of sp3. So totally 1s, 3p's, totally 4 hybrid orbitals has to come. And tell me how many electrons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 electrons of these are again reshuffled as per the Hund's rule. The first electron, second electron, third electron, fourth electron, and fifth electron again goes to here. So totally even in sp3 hybrid orbitals, sp3, 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 sp3 orbitals containing 1 pair and 3 unpaired electrons are there. So in order to get the stability, nitrogen try to get all the 3 electrons by the sharing, okay, or overlapping of orbitals. Now let us see with nitrogen now comes and share with the pairs with the it make a relation with the hydrogens. How many hydrogens are required? 3 hydrogens are required. Why? Because hydrogen atomic number is 1. It has one configuration is 1s1, has only one unpaired electron. Only one unpaired electron in 1s. So it needs one more electron. Therefore, it is ready to pair with the nitrogen. Now, in such a way, 3 hydrogens of the same type. See, 1, 2, 3. 3 hydrogens. So 3 hydrogens of the same type containing a spin. Look at the spin of the electrons in the 3 hydrogens, and look at the spin of the electrons in the hybrid orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hybrid orbitals. In that one lone pair, the pair is here, and 3 unpaired are there. These 3 unpaired undergoes were participated in the bonding. Finally, this in pair, this sp3. This is sp3 orbital, and this is also sp3, and this is also sp3, and this is also sp3. So 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals are there. So this sp3 hybridals overlap this s orbital, and a bond is formed. What type of bond? A sigma bond is formed because nucleus internuclear axis. Sigma bond of what? sp3. Yes. In the same way, this sp3 hybrid combines with the overlaps with the s orbital of the another hydrogen atom. Again, sigma bond of same sp3s. Again, third hydrogen, so sigma sp3. So totally, how many bonds are there? 3 bonds are there. How many bond pairs are there? 3 bond pairs are. But this is not participating in the chemical bonding. Therefore, this is nothing. This is called as a lone pair.
but we already know that there are repulsion between the lone pairs and the bond pairs. Lone pairs and the bond pairs. So, and there are also repulsion between the bond, but lone pair bond pair repulsion is more. Hence, totally, as we know that the attains a structure with the minimum repulsions between the pairs, whether lone pair or a bond pair in the valence shell. So, finally, it exists in such a structure that the bond angle is of 107 degrees 48 minutes, means it attains a shape called as a trigonal pyramid in shape. So ammonia has trigonal pyramidal shape, and it has how many sigma bonds? 3 sigma bonds are there of sp3s, and one lone pair is there. It has 3 bond pairs and one lone pair is there. Okay, right. So that is the way how ammonia is formed, can be explained with hybridization technique. Thank you.
One more and the last example for the sp3 hybridization. It is nothing but water molecule formation. The central atom here is the oxygen. Its atomic number is 8 and configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. This is the ground state configuration only. 2s has 2 electrons, 2p has 4 electrons. 2s okay, and now upon hybridization of one s orbital and 3 p orbitals, so sp3 hybrid orbitals are formed of 4 in number, and these 4 are the sp3 hybrid orbitals. Now shuffling of electrons, so totally 6 electrons are there. Again, these are 6 electrons has to be distributed in these hybrid orbitals as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as per the hybrid rule, as per the Hund's rule. So totally 2 unpaired electrons are there. It requires 2 more electrons to get the stability. Now it is pairing with 2 hydrogen atoms. So hydrogen atomic number is 1. Its configuration is 1s1. 1 unpaired electron are there, opposite end spin. So now such a 2 hydrogen atoms of spherical, because s orbital is combined with 3 hybrid orbitals of sp3, 4 hybrid orbitals of sp3, 2 hybrid orbitals containing lone pairs, and now unpaired electrons are in overlap. sp3 hybrid orbital of this oxygen is overlap with the hydrogen s orbital of the hydrogen and formed a sigma bond of sp3s, and again sp3 hybrid orbital of this oxygen overlaps with the spherical s orbital of the hydrogen atom and forms another sigma bond of sp3s. So totally 2 sigma bonds are formed of sp3s. Now oxygen attains the stability because of 2, 4, 6, 8 electrons. In the 2 pairs are of lone pair and 2 are of the bond pairs. So there are, as we know that there are repulsions between the lone pair, bond pair, lone pair, bond pair. But the repulsion of lone pair is more than the lone pair, bond pair, than the bond pair. So finally it comes into a stable structure with a bond angle of 104 degrees 31 minutes and attained a shape of V or angular shape. So totally in a water molecule we have 2 sigma bonds of sp3s, means 2 bond pairs are there and 2 lone pairs are there, and the structure is a V shape. It has a V shape or angular shape, and bond angle between hydrogen hydrogen is 104 degrees 31 minutes. Okay, sp3 hybridization. So this is the way how water molecule is formed. Thank you very much. Dear students, let us see how carbon can form a double bond and 2 single bonds. So already we discussed about the carbon. It has a tetravalency, means valency of the carbon is 4, and it undergoes sp3 hybridization. By the sp3 hybridization, carbon can form 4 single bonds with 4 different or same type of atoms. In the same way, how a carbon, in this session, how a carbon can form 1 double bond and 2 single bonds. This can be achieved by the sp3 hybridization. So now we discuss how a carbon can form 1 double bond and 2 single bonds. I have taken an example of ethene. Its formula is C2H4, CH2 double bond CH2. So its structure of ethene is
single bond H, double bond between the two carbons, and single bond H. Okay, so let us see how a carbon can form a double bond, one double bond and two single bonds. Right. Now carbon, its symbol is C, its atomic number is 6. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. It's a ground state configuration in which 2s has 2 electrons and 2p has 2 electrons. And due to excitation, 1 electron jumps from 2s to 2p. So excited state electronic configuration is 2s1, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. There are 4 unpaired electrons are there totally in excited state of a carbon. So it can share these 4 electrons in making the a molecule. Right. Now after excitation, the carbon undergoes hybridation. Means the orbitals of the carbon undergoes hybridation. Here the carbon has to form one double bond and 2 single bonds. So that carbon undergoes sp2 hybridation, means one s orbital of carbon is intermixed with the 2 p orbitals of a carbon, and finally sp2 hybrid orbitals are formed. How many sp2 hybrid orbitals are formed? So 1s, 1p and 1p, totally 1s, 2p, means 1 plus 2 gives rise 3. So 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals are formed upon intermixing of these orbitals. So these 3 are the hybridized orbitals, degenerated, means these 3 have the same energy. So 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals are there, 1 s2 combined together, but this is not intermixed, it doesn't participate in the hybridization. Therefore this is the remains as a unhybridized pure p orbital. This is the pure p orbital, and 3 are the sp2 hybrid orbitals. Okay, so totally there are in sp2 hybridization, carbon has 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals, 1 unhybridized p orbital, that is of pz. And these 4 electrons are again distributed as per the Hund's rule. Now each hybrid orbital has 1 electron unpaired, and pure p orbital, means that is unhybridized p orbital, also have 1 electron. Now it keeps these electrons, this carbon keeps all these 4 electrons for the sharing, because carbon can only form covalent bonds. So what happened, how they are combined? Now this is the story of one carbon. In the same way, in this ethene molecules we have 2 carbons are there. The same story for the other carbon also. So a carbon has 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. These 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals are aligned in such a way that there are minimum repulsions between the hybrid orbitals. So they are aligned at a bond angle of 120 degrees between any 2 hybrid orbitals. And this one is the unhybridized p orbital. This is hybridized sp2 hybrid orbital. This is sp2 hybrid orbital. This is sp2 hybrid orbital, and this is unhybrid orbital of a carbon. sp2, and this is unhybridized p orbital of a carbon. This is of another carbon. Same. sp2 hybrid, unhybridized p orbital of the second carbon. Now these 2 carbons and 4 hydrogen atoms. You know hydrogen symbol is H, its atomic number is 1, its configuration is 1s1. There is only 1 electron in the s orbital of the hydrogen. So unpaired. It needs 1 more electron for the stability. Therefore it also undergoes participating in the bond formation. So 4 hydrogen atoms with unpaired. Look at these spins. This is in a clockwise, anti-clockwise. So they are the clockwise. All these are in a clockwise, all these are in the anti-clockwise. This is also anti-clockwise. Now they are combined together. Now in bond formation, in making a molecule of ethene, this carbon and this carbon, hybrid orbital of this carbon, this sp2 hybrid orbital of this carbon, they overlap together along the internuclear axis. they overlap together along the internuclear axis and forms a sigma bond. So that is a what type? sp2 sp2 sigma sp2 sp2 high. Overlapping is happened, means a sigma bond is formed between this carbon and this carbon of type sp2 sp2, because these orbital are hybrid orbitals of sp2. Now these two hybrid orbitals are in pair with the two hydrogen atoms. This is with one hybrid hydrogen, this is with one hydrogen. Okay, and there is again this is internuclear. This bond is along the internuclear, therefore this is also sigma bond of type sp2s. This is also sigma bond of type sp2s. And the same story for this carbon also. This is sp2 is in pair with the s orbital of the hydrogen. This is in pair with the s orbital, means overlapping is happened of sp2s. Again this forms a sigma bond sp2s. This is also of type sigma bond sp2, because their overlapping is along the internuclear axis. So totally 2 4 6 for the 2 4 6 for this carbon also. Now what happened, in order to get the stability, 2 more electrons are required, means one electron in the p has to be involved in the pairing. So for what happened, the unpaired electrons of these p orbitals, means unhybridized p orbitals, means pure p orbitals, are also undergoes a overlapping, but this overlapping is laterally, sideways. So for this overlap leads to the formation of pi bond. So totally between these two carbon atoms there is one sigma bond and there is one pi bond. There is one sigma bond and there is a pi bond. Okay, now 2 4 6 8 stable. 2 4 6 8 stable. Such a way the stable molecule of C2H4 CHH there is a double bond, one sigma bond of sp2 and pi bond of pz, and this is sigma bond of sp2s. So this is the way ethene molecule is formed, and ethene molecule has 1 2 3 4 5 sigma bonds and 1 pi bond. How this sp2s sigma bonds are of 1 2 3 4 and sp2 sigma bonds are of 1 type, and pi pz of 1 type. So totally 5 sigma bonds and 1 pi bond is there. This is the structure of the ethene. By this way ethene molecule is formed. Thank you. Okay students, now let us discuss how a carbon can form one triple bond and one single bond in making of its molecules, right? So already valency of carbon is 4, tetravalency. Because of the tetravalency only carbon can form many compounds. It can while making these molecules, carbon can form 4 single bonds, carbon can form 1 double bond and 2 single bonds. Here there is an sp3 hybridization we observed. Here we observed sp2 hybridization. Now we are going to discuss about how a carbon can form 1 triple bond and 1 single bond. It happened due to the hybridization concept of sp. So let us see how a carbon undergoes sp hybridization and forms 1 triple bond and 1 single bond. So carbon, it's I am explaining this with the help of a molecule ethane, ETHYNE, ethane. Its formula is C2H2. So let us see the structure. There is a triple bond between the two carbons and 1 single bond with between the carbon and hydrogen. Means each carbon here has 1 triple bond and 1 single bond. Each carbon here has 1 triple bond and 1 single bond. That is only the topic that we are going to discuss. How a carbon can form 1 triple bond, 1 single bond. I said this is due to sp hybridization. Now let us see how carbon go for the sp hybridization. Carbon, its symbol is C. Its atomic number is 6. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. This is a ground state configuration of carbon. So 2s has 2 electrons, 2p has 2 electrons. So again excitation, 1 electron jumps from 2s to 2p, and totally there are 4 unpaired electrons in the carbon in its excited state. Ground state it has only 2 unpaired, but in excitation, so energy taken from the bond formation and electron excited from 2s to 2p, and totally there are 4 unpaired electrons are there in the excited state of a carbon.
Now these excited state electrons means orbitals. Orbitals in the excitation state undergo hybridization. Means in this hybridization, one s orbital is intermixed with the one p orbital of the carbon. So now one s is mixed with the one p. Totally it forms sp hybrid orbitals. How many sp hybrid orbitals are there? Here one of s is involved and one of p is involved. Therefore 1 plus 1 2 sp hybrid orbitals are formed. So 2 sp hybrid degenerate means these two have the same energy, and still there are unhybridized orbitals here. These two p orbitals are not participated in the hybridization, means in intermixing. So for they are called as the unhybridized p orbitals. They have more energy when compared to the degenerated sps hybrid orbitals. Okay, now there are 4 electrons, 2 are in sp hybrid orbitals and 2 are in the unhybridized p orbitals. Now these two hybrid orbitals are aligned in such a way that there is a minimum repulsion. So this is a green one represents here is of sp hybrid orbital, sp hybrid. They align at an angle of 180 degrees linear. So now remaining two unhybridized orbitals, p orbitals py and pz are aligned in such a way perpendicular to the plane of hybrid orbitals. Okay, so these are the hybrid orbitals sp, and this is unhybridized pz orbital of carbon, and this is unhybridized p dumbbell in shape py unhybridized orbital of the carbon. The same is for the other carbon also, right? So same, this is of one carbon and this is of other carbon. Hybridized sp hybridized orbital, sp hybridized orbital, unhybridized pz, unhybridized py. So these two carbon and two hydrogen, two carbons and two hydrogens. Already we know hydrogen, its symbol is H and configuration is atomic number is 1, configuration is 1s1, have 1 electron in 1s, it needs one more electron. So for it undergoes, it keeps 1 electron of hydrogen for the sharing. So totally 2 carbons and 2 hydrogens are participated in making of a molecule. How they are participating? So these 2 carbon atoms comes close together and they overlapped. sp orbital of this carbon overlapped with the sp hybrid orbital of this carbon. So totally sp overlaps with the sp overlaps with the sp orbitals. So a sigma bond is formed of what type? sp. This bond is along the internuclear axis, therefore this is a sigma bond of type sp. Now, and other sp hybrid orbital of the carbon is in pair with the unhybridized orbital of the it in pair with the unpaired electron of the hydrogen. Yeah, there is again a sigma bond is formed between sp and s. The same other carbon sps, sigma bond sps between the hybrid orbital of this carbon and hydrogen atom, right? And this is sigma bond and this is sigma bond and this is sigma bond. Now unhybridized p orbitals overlap laterally, py laterally over, pz laterally over. This leads to the formation of a pi bond. This also leads to the formation of pi bond. This is of pz, this is of py. So totally a sigma bond, one sigma bond and 2 pi bonds are, this is one. One sigma bond and 2 pi bonds are formed between the 2 carbon atoms. 1 sigma bond, 2 pi bonds means 1 sigma bond, 2 pi bonds means this is a triple bond. 1, 2, 3. So there is a triple bond between the 2 carbon atoms. And this carbon, 3 2s are 6, and other pair is of with the hydrogen. So this is in pair with the hydrogen. So totally 2, 4, 6, 8. So carbon got a stability. This carbon also got a stability. So this is the way ethane molecule is formed. In ethane we found the sp hybridization of a carbon. So between the carbon there is a triple bond. So totally in ethane molecules 1, 2, 3 sigma bonds are there. Of one is of sp and 2 are of sps, and 2 pi bonds are there. Pi bond 2 pi bonds are there. 2 pi bonds are there. These 2 pi bonds, one is of py, another pi bond is of pz. So totally there are 5 bonds are there.
3 are of sigma bonds and 2 are of the pi bonds. In 3 sigma bonds, one is sigma sp and the 2 are of sigma sps. So very important question for the examination. I think you got. Thank you.